let the heavens give us eternal life that is called consciousness, where we are able to tap into the memory of our previous existence, our previous incarnations, and be able to do a smooth transition and continuity of what and where we left off. We will no longer worship, we will no longer praise, we will no longer depend on the heavens. We will create our own heaven. Even if I may be God, I will never give it. I'd love to talk about death, but we are all too familiar with death as it occurs every day in almost every environment. Every day we wake up to see or hear one thing or the other about death. Either somebody has died, people have died, or somebody nearly died, or somebody nearly killed the other person. And we all have that knowledge or supposed understanding that death is is presumably the end of a particular life form. A human being dies, cockroach die, dogs die, elephants die, lion dies, living things, mortal beings die. So, being that we all already know presumably what death is, I love to give my opinion or understanding of the concept of eternal life. Eternal life. I suppose that should be the opposite of death. Eternal life, not just life, eternal life. Now, for those of us that are religious inclined, especially looking at my own background, the Christian religion, if you are also a Christian, or maybe your own religion in one way or the other aligns with the concept I want to put together to explain eternal life. But eternal life here is not my concern as to the way we understand it. My understanding, my concern is the actual meaning of eternal life, because I think we are missing the point. All of us are missing the point. And when the phrase or the expression or the concept eternal life is mentioned, what quickly or at a glance comes to mind is immortality. Immortality in the sense that you have escaped the vulnerability, the inevitable end of being immortal. When you become an immortal, you now have been gifted, or you now possess the ability to live forever. You now possess eternal life. So when we hear eternal life, we think of it on our mortal beings having the ability to live forever. Our mortal beings, flesh and blood, having the ability, having the gift, having the privilege, the honor to live forever as a human being. Now, I'll let you know that so far so good, we can all agree to that simple fact that it is impossible. It is impossible. There is no one on earth right now that as a physical being have been living for over 200 years. as a physical being. I've been living for over 200 years as at the time I am making this video. Maybe after now, somebody can come up. Or maybe you know somebody somewhere, but I don't know. Now, the concept of eternal life is this. It can never be your mortal body living forever. Now, where can you achieve and how can you achieve eternal life as a human being? You can only achieve eternal life in your legacy. In your legacy, you can live eternally. You have a legacy, a name, a record that stays even after you are gone. It endures through time. That is what you do while you are on earth, while as a mortal being, before you die. The records that are attached to your name, that stays as long as time is, especially depending on the area of life you made that legacy. Let me take a perfect example. Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson has attained immortality based based on his legacy in music. He crafted something to his name that will stand through time. That is in the aspect of music. If you go into religion, you find a lot of names, a lot of persons that have attained immortality based on legacy. If you go through science and technology, there are names that are echoed every day in the course of science teaching and learning. They have attained immortality through legacy, right? Now, the surest way of attaining immortality is also through reincarnation. Now, because we understand that the spirit lives forever, but this body cannot live forever. It definitely will die. It definitely will end. It will cease to exist, right? But the spirit spans through time from the moment it was ignited into existence. It will only manifest through a vessel from time to time. And that concept of that spirit manifesting through a vessel is reincarnation. Now, reincarnation also makes eternal life possible, but that happens only in the spirit realm. That constant flow, that steadiness only happens in the spirit realm. When that spirit manifests in a mortal body, it's a new beginning, it's a new stage, it's a new life form of a particular being, even though the spirit remains the same. But that spirit has taken another form, possibly in another environment, to do another thing or to experience another thing. Now, I want you to understand within this concept of reincarnation that it makes do with three entities. These three entities happen to be the spirit, the soul, and then the body. The spirit remains pure forever. The spirit is infallible. The spirit cannot be dented. The spirit is the powerhouse, is the energy source. It supplies energy. It makes the body feel alive, be alive. Then the soul is a record place. The soul is the record place. The soul is the responsibility bearer. I don't know if that sounds okay. Whatever the body does through the enablement of the spirit it is the soul that will answer the questions or will give the explanation of what that body was doing with the enablement of the spirit. And like the Bible will say, life is an opportunity. Wherefore now you have opportunity. Be good even unto the people of the household of faith. What is that opportunity? The spirit breathed into the body, making the body alive, is the opportunity given to the soul to exist. And now that soul, when death comes, will be called. An account will be checked, records will be checked, to be put on the weighing balance. And the soul will be told to go to right or to go to left, whichever side the soul merits. But the spirit goes back to the maker, goes back to the source, whereas the body goes to Mother Earth and perishes. The soul faces judgment. Now, when the soul faces judgment, and there is need for that soul to return, the spirit, as spirit, that spirit is also given a body power, and the soul put in there, and then the three of them move on. Now that soul will lose memory of whatever happened in the past. The soul is just coming to face universal laws that should allow it to all over start again, to live right, without a manuscript, without a warning, without a caution that, oh, you have been here before. This is what you did. This is what you did. Make corrections this way, make corrections that way. The soul is just cast into a body. The spirit is put in there. And so, yeah, empower this soul in this body to walk the earth. And let's see if it will get it right this time. And then this soul start gaining consciousness as the body matures. Start gaining consciousness as the body matures, right? From infancy to childhood, to adolescence, to adult and to old age, gathering experiences and going about life. Now, while this is ongoing, there are times when the soul and the body will just have a snap, a glimpse of something that has happened far back, a pinch of memory of previous incarnations. And now that is what is called deja vu. It's called what? Deja vu. Now let me explain this. Hopefully you will understand with me what I'm saying. Now, deja vu, like many of us know, if you don't know, you can look it up. Deja vu happens within seconds. It's a situation where you are seeing something happening in sequence and you're having that consciousness that this thing may have happened before. This thing, and you're watching that thing unfold as you are thinking it. And then within the shortest, in less than a minute, in less than 30 seconds, it stops. Now, I call that eclipse of the soul. Sounds somewhere, right? What they call deja vu, I call it eclipse of the soul. Now, let's use this concept. Let's explain it this way. Hope you're working with me, right? If you're finding anything a bit uneasy, confusing, put it in the comment section and possibly I'll do another video for that, right? Now, let's explain this eclipse of the soul this way, it will help us to understand the concept of deja vu. It still connects to eternal life. You will understand it here. So, talking about the concept of um, eclipse of the soul, as I said, let's take the let's take your life as a wall clock, right? And then your spirit, the spirit, let's take it to be the second hand, the soul to be the minute hand, and then the body to be the hour hand. Now you understand with me, you'll agree with me that the second hand is faster in movement than the soul, than the minute and the hour hand. The minute hand is faster in movement than the uh, hour hand, but not as fast as the second hand. Now, if you will do your own research, I wouldn't be able to give you the numbers exactly right now, but you can do your own research to get the numbers, like how many times the second hand turns, finish its revolution before the minute hand joins, also does the same revolution. Now, we all agree that the second hand is faster. Anywhere the minute hand will touch, the second hand must have gotten there at least once before the minute hand will get to the 12-hour time, 12 o'clock, let's say 12 noon. The second hand must have passed that 12 noon at least twice, or once or twice. You can check the numbers of the turns, number of the turns here. Same thing goes with the hour hand. Before the hour hand will get to 12 noon or any hour, the minute hand must have turned there at least once. Now, where the eclipse of the soul happens is when all three hands are in one stop. All three hands are in one stop. Let's say we are having 12 midnight, right? We're having 12 midnight. The hour hand is on pointing at 12. The minute hand is pointing at 12. And then the second hand, at that moment, it gets to 12. That's 1 second. It gets to 12. There is now at that point where the eclipse of the soul occurs, the body now has a little moment to share energy with the spirit and then tap into the memory of the soul. And then the body, you are now able in a split second, in few seconds, to kind of foresee the nearest future, because the soul have experienced that moment before, unknown to the body. The spirit has experienced that moment over and over again in different lifetimes, in different life forms. The spirit has experienced that moment. There is nothing new on the earth. There is nothing new. The spirit has experienced that moment before, but the memory of that experience is in the soul, stored in the soul. The body only has a glimpse of memories of the present lifetime, right? But the soul has a memory of all the times it has come into the world, in the physical world. But the body is not powerful or strong enough to tap into the memory of the soul. Now, at that moment of alignment, that moment of soul alignment, the spirit gives the body a certain level of energy, strength to be able to tap into the memory of the soul. And then you now see something happening in sequence. For your mind, you don't see vision. For your mind, I've been here before. No, your body have not been there before. But yes, you as a soul, you've been there before, right? So now within this concept of short memory is where I will tell you about the real eternal life that we should be craving for, we should be praying for. But I tell you of a truth, God will never give it. Within this short moment of soul eclipse, of memory access by the body through the enablement of the spirit from the soul, I bring to your knowing, if you never knew before, what eternal life should be. Eternal life should not and will not be an immortality of the body. It will never be the immortality of the mortal being. Eternal life should be and is the undying, unquenchable memory of the soul. The undying and unquenchable memory of the soul. Being able to be tapped by the body. Now, imagine a situation where we have an upgraded human body, an evolved human body, evolved human sensory body or sensory organs or neurons, whatever, however you want to call it. But a situation where your body is strong enough to know exactly what the soul knows. Is strong enough to consciously, like the way you will consciously sit down and think about the party you had last night, and you're able to recollect virtually everything. Now you will also understand with me that even as mere mortals, there are people that have what they call photographic memory, and there are those who have bad memory. There are those who are forgetful. It only shows that some people have stronger neurons or memory or brain than others. But the truth remains that our body systems are not all strong the same level. Some are stronger. But imagine a situation where even at the variance in our physical body strength, we are still able to at least go into the memory of the soul to know to recollect certain events that happened in our previous life, maybe the immediate past life. That is the true eternal life. Memory. Memory. Now you can see that the world as a whole, going with the technology of memory storage, cloud system, and the rest. In 50 years to come, in 100 years to come, somebody will still be able to see this video I am doing now. I will not be there. I may not be there. 100 years to come, 200 years to come. If technology remains in a steady growth, or even if it is just stagnant the way it is right now, in 100 years, 200 years to come, somebody will see this, watch this. As such, I can say that humanity is attaining that perfect stage of eternal life, that perfect stage of immortality. Man is attaining that perfect stage of immortality. When I say man, I'm not talking about me or you as individual entities, but as an umbrella, unique organism. Man is attaining or has attained that perfect age and stage of immortality. So what I'm saying here is immortality, life, eternal life is memory. And now that memory, I want to put it as consciousness. Consciousness is eternal life. Consciousness in the situation whereby you are born, and from when you're becoming an adult and you becoming conscious of yourself, you are not just only conscious of your present self, that, oh, that my name is Stephen. My parents gave birth to me on the 2nd of March 1990. I am from Abua. I am this, I am that. No, you will remember, and you will know beyond that. You remember beyond that. You have a consciousness that lets you go back into memory lane at a certain stage of your body strength, your bodily strength. You will be able to cast your mind back to 50 years before you were born to see if you existed 50 years before you were born. You'll be able to tap into that memory. You have a conscious awareness of what happened. But do you know why I said God will never give it? Do you know why I said God will never give it? Yeah, let me tell you. You see the chaos we have today. There is a particular memory I call grudges. Because of how dangerous that memory is, we are advised to forgive and forget. Consciously tell yourself that, no, I won't do anything with that memory called grudges. Now, imagine that your brother slept with your wife, and then maybe you caught them. You entered the room and caught them cheating on you. And then in the process of trying to fight, either your brother or that your wife hit you. You fell on your head, and then you died. And immediately you died. After your soul faces judgment and you are sent back into the world, you reincarnate back into the world. As you're growing as a child and you're getting to age 5, age 7, you're beginning to get the strength to access certain memories, and then maybe you get to age 18, the peak of the human body strength, whereas you are now an adult, that you can be able to access any part of your memory. You can consciously. Sorry, I'm trying to check if this mic is still on. Yeah, you can be able to access every aspect of your existence. And then you consciously, at age 18, maybe the human society that time would be like, maybe they create a memory room for people in different communities. And then at age 18, it could be like a coming of age ritual. You are now put into that house or that room, and maybe something connected to your head, and then there's a big screen that will now be displaying, want to know who you were, so that they know the perfect place to fix you in the society to allow for continuity. And they also want to know if you were a thief, a hardened criminal that died in prison and is back, so that as you attain 18 and everything shows on the screen, you are going back to prison. Or maybe you wanted to escape punishment and you committed suicide, and they say, oh, you say you don't escape, the memory, everything don't show, they carry you, bam, start to face that punishment. So imagine a situation where you go into that room and and your last memory that displayed of your last life, how you ended before you reincarnated, is your brother and your wife big in the room, and you big you enter, and they big they off you. That memory, you will be angry. You will have a motive to hate somebody, and perhaps that your brother is still existing in a far away different society. Maybe you were in Nigeria, and then that you now reincarnate far away in the USA, and then you've gotten this memory. My brother, my sister, you will hunt that your brother back down, and you take revenge. That is the negative aspect, the level of chaos that may be impossible to prevent. And I suppose, even as that negativity that comes with such memory, with a well structured society, the earth will be like heaven, where we will be able, Albert Einstein, that is still here and may have reincarnated, should be able to know that yes, I was Albert Einstein. Now I have started a new life. My body that faded away and died is now regained its youthful stage. So let me continue my work. That is immortality. That is eternal life. If it were possible for us to do a protest to the heavens, that is what we should be protesting for, asking for, praying for. Let the heavens give us eternal life that is called consciousness, where we are able to tap into the memory of our previous existence, our previous incarnations, and be able to do a smooth transition and continuity of what and where we left off, be it good or bad. But based on the bad, and even based on the good, that will want us to want to rub place with God, we will no longer worship, we will no longer praise, we will no longer depend on the heavens. We will create our own heaven. And because of these two, God, even if I may be God, I will never give it. Thank you very much. Yeah? Thank you for your patience, for listening and watching. Whatever contradictions or whatever you don't find funny or easy from whatever I've said, put it in the comment section. I will give myself in to explain, and where I need to learn from you, I will learn. Thank you very much. My name is Steven Muzan. You can call me Mr. Influence. Bye.